Okay, imagine that feeling, you know?
Yeah.
That electric tension in the air, like in the world of high-octane off-road racing.
Hmm.
It's that kind of buzz when you're waiting for something huge, a new machine that could just completely change the game.
Right.
But what does next generation really even mean when you're already, like, pushing the absolute limits?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Exactly. Well, today, we're going to dive deep into that very feeling, looking specifically at KTM's highly anticipated 2026 off-road lineup.
Yeah, lots of talk about this one.
For sure. And our source material for
Sure.
this, it's great. It comes straight from KTM's own launch announcement excerpts. So we're getting a real insider's peek at their plan.
Good stuff. Direct from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So our mission here is simple. Unpack this phase rollout they're doing.
Yeah.
We want to highlight the key dates, reveal what KTM is actually promising with all this advanced tech talk, so you can really get why this isn't just, another bike launch. It feels like a bigger deal for riders, teams, everyone, really.
It does seem strategically planned.
Yeah, I'm honestly really curious how a company like KTM even approaches this, unveiling something so significant, especially when they're throwing around phrases like the most technically advanced. What's the strategy?
Well, that's what's really interesting, isn't it? That strategic rollout. They're not doing the one big splashy event.
Right, no single big reveal.
No. Instead, it's a very deliberate decision. They're unveiling the 2026 lineup in these distinct separate phases.
Okay.
And, beyond just building hype, which it obviously does, this approach kind of subtly shifts things. KTM is basically saying, look, we're launching events for each community, not just bikes.
Ah, I see. So targeting each group specifically.
Precisely. If you zoom out a bit, this phased approach lets each segment, motocross, mini MX, cross country, enduro,
Yeah.
it lets each one have its own moment, its own spotlight.
Makes sense. Avoids everything getting lost in one big announcement dump.
Exactly. It forces the media, the enthusiasts, everyone to re-engage multiple times. It maximizes their mind share in what's, let's face it, a really crowded market.
Yeah, definitely competitive.
It feels like a very digital era way to do a product launch, right? Prevents that information overload and builds this sustained anticipation rather than just one quick flash.
That idea of a countdown,
Yeah.
having a date, that definitely works. For riders waiting for new gear, having those specific dates for their segment, that creates real excitement. So what does the schedule actually look like? They gave us dates, right? Not just coming soon.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Very specific dates to circle on the calendar. It all kicks off on July 30th. That's the big day for their motocross machines.
Okay, July 30th, motocross. Got it.
And interestingly, on that exact same day, July 30th, they're also unveiling the mini motocross lineup, for the next generation of racers.
Right, the kids' bikes. Smart to tie those together.
Seems like it. Then the very next day, July 31st, that's dedicated to cross country.
Okay, the XC models. For those longer, more varied races.
Exactly. Bikes built for that mix of motocross speed and enduro toughness. And then finally, there's a little gap. And on August 5th, it's the enduro machines taking center stage.
August 5th for enduro. So the bikes for the really gnarly stuff, technical trails, hard enduro.
That's the ones where durability and navigating tough terrain are absolutely key.
So yeah, a clear schedule. But these aren't just paint jobs, are they? That phrase, most technically advanced. What are they actually hinting at? What does that mean for KTM off-road bikes?
Yeah, that's the core of it, isn't it? And they're not being subtle. The announcement makes some pretty bold promises. They're talking about innovations designed to deliver, and I'm quoting here, unmatched adjustability, control, and race day performance.
Okay, unmatched adjustability, control, race day performance. Big words.
Big words. It feels like a shift, doesn't it? Less about just pure mechanical power, though I'm sure that's there too, and more about integrating intelligence into the bike.
Like the bike working with you, adapting.
Kind of, yeah. Almost like an extension of the rider adapting to the terrain rather than just fighting it.
So what specifics did they mention?
Okay, so they highlighted a few key areas. First, factory-inspired chassis updates.
Ah, the trickle-down tech.
Exactly. Coming from KTM, that usually means tech proven in their top-level race programs like MXGP or World Enduro. We could be looking at different frame stiffness, maybe new subframe designs for better flex or weight, stuff that really impacts handling and feel.
Stuff you'd actually notice on track.
Definitely. Then there's cutting-edge electronics. Now, for KTM, that likely means more than just basic ride modes. Think maybe lean angle sensitive traction control,
Oh, really?
potentially, or maybe adjustable engine braking you can tune from an app. That level of customization is becoming more common.
Okay.
And then maybe the most intriguing bit, state-of-the-art connectivity features for off-road racing.
All right, connectivity features. Let's unpack that. What does that actually mean for you, the rider, when you're out there? How does that translate to, a better ride or winning races?
Well, connectivity could point to a few things, right?
Yeah.
But the goal is usually to make that high-level tuning, stuff usually only factory teams had, more accessible.
Okay, like what?
Imagine being able to fine-tune your bike's settings, maybe suspension clickers, directly from your phone.
Seriously, like
Yeah.
instead of physically turning the little knobs on the forks or shock.
Precisely. Doing it digitally via an app, it just streamlines what can be a fiddly, time-consuming process, especially trackside.
Wow, okay, that's pretty cool.
Or maybe uploading specific engine maps tailored for different tracks or even weather conditions, all wirelessly from your device before a race.
Right, so you could have a mud map or a hard pack map ready to go.
Exactly. That level of adjustability gives a rider much more precise control, more personalization. You can adapt the bike much faster, which ultimately should translate directly into better performance or just a better ride feel.
Makes sense. So with all this new tech coming and these launch dates locked in, where should people go to get all the details as they drop? Is there one place?
Yep, KTM's thought of that. They've set up a central hub. They're calling it the 2026 KTM Off-Road Launchpad website.
Okay, Launchpad. Catchy.
Yeah, and it's not just a static page. It's designed to be an evolving portal. So as each segment gets revealed, motocross on the 30th, enduro on the 5th, etc., the website gets updated with all the info for that specific segment.
So you don't get flooded with everything at once. You can focus on what you're interested in.
Exactly. You can dive deep into motocross when it launches, then check back for enduro later. All the specs, pictures, tech details right there when they're released. It's basically a dedicated resource that grows as the launch progresses.
Super helpful. Keeps everything organized.
For sure.
And, listening to all this, the dates, the tech talk, the website, there's this underlying message, isn't there? It feels like more than just information.
Absolutely. It's a call to action, really, the whole tone of the announcement and especially how they wrap it up.
Right. They ended with, stay tuned, stay ready to race.
Mm-hmm. That ready-to-race mantra is core to KTM, and they're tying this whole launch directly into it.
So stepping back then, what does a launch like this phase, focusing heavily on tech and connectivity, tell us about where off-road bikes are heading in general?
Well, I think it shows the direction is increasingly towards precision, customization, and integrating these digital tools. It's moving beyond just raw horsepower,
Yeah.
It's becoming more about how smartly that power is managed and how well the bike can be adapted by the rider. It's about that rider-machine connection getting tighter, more intuitive, and honestly, it raises the bar for competition across the board.
And maybe this phased thing lets them tweak the message as they go based on reactions.
That's a really interesting thought. Yeah, it could act like a sort of real-time market feedback loop for them, too. Clever.
So just to recap for everyone listening, we've got this distinct phased launch from KTM for their 2026 off-roaders. Key dates: July 30th for motocross and mini MX, July 31st for cross country, and August 5th for enduro.
Don't forget those dates.
Definitely mark them down. And the big promise is most technically advanced, focusing on things like factory-level chassis updates, cutting-edge electronics, and these really intriguing connectivity features. All the info will land on that KTM Launchpad website. For anyone in the off-road world, these are definitely dates to watch.
Absolutely. Big stuff coming.
Okay, but let's leave you with something to chew on. Thinking about those state-of-the-art connectivity features, how might that stuff fundamentally change things? Not just race day performance, but maybe how riders train, or how they maintain their bikes, or even customize them down the line. What new possibilities does that really open up for the sport? And maybe for you, the enthusiast rider, as we look ahead. Something to think about.